Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome to our last stretch of 4 movies on underrated gems with my co-host Radar.
Woohoo!
We
They're
saved the best
all
4 for last,
that is true. These four are wild, all in their own right.
and they're so different, which I didn't really think about until literally just now about how vastly different they are. Um, so if you haven't watched the rest of the episodes we've done, there is a playlist for underrated gems. But these are all first watches, except for one we've already covered. So we're going to go talk about Radar's thoughts on why it's underrated, and then we're just going to talk about the movie. So there will be some spoilers, but these are all older movies, so shouldn't be
Yeah.
too crazy of a life ruiner moment. So the movie we're talking about first in this set of 4 is the see, I already forgot the year. I wrote down and then I was like, well, all right, 1988-ish. I wrote ish next to it.
Ish.
And that is the probably one of the best Nicolas Cage performances ever, which is Vampire's Kiss. Um, I cannot believe this was a first watch for me
Oh
because
man.
where was I? Like, what was I doing that I just never got to this movie? So we'll start with where we normally start, which is why you think Vampire's Kiss is an underrated gem.
So I mean, Nick Cage, in my personal opinion, is the most entertaining actor
Yeah,
in existence.
yeah.
This is Nick Cage's most entertaining role by a country mile
Yeah,
because oh my god, it's like the director, he had a shoestring budget and
yeah.
like the writer and director, they're like, we have a shoestring budget. We need something. And they're like, long shot, reach out to Nick Cage. We'll offer him a Subway sandwich or something. And we just let him go wild on it. And he, of course, it was Nick Cage. And he said, yes, I guess. Because like, they just let him do whatever he wanted.
I think it works.
It works. Oh,
It
it works.
it works because this was probably one of the ones I was messaging you while I was watching it because this is a hysterical movie. Like it's not obviously like very scary or anything like that, but it's very funny between the facial expressions and the rage shouting to the calm and the just this like I mean it is a roller coaster pretty much from start to finish.
Oh yeah. Like my my best friend and I were on a vacation. My wife was there too. This was about 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and we were in a hotel room, and we put on Vampire's Kiss, and we came up with a drinking game that was like every time Nick Cage shouts Alva, or every time he just like does something like weird. It was we only had two, those two. Every time he does something weird, and every time he shouts Alva,
And
and
you were done
we
within.
were blasted after 30 minutes. Like we did not make it halfway through that movie because it's just constant.
Yeah. I yeah, so the scenes with her are probably some of the best. Like every time she's like, "Okay, he's not that bad." He just does something else off the wall to push her over the edge to the point where he like assaults her. Like it's very
Yeah,
like it escalates very quickly. And there's no like she's not even like his assistant. She does another job, but he like
right.
makes her do all these things and he's asking her about this one report and then this whole time, this guy's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal." But he refuses. Like, he's not letting this shit go. He's like, "No, like, you have to have this." And the way he looks when he calls her is just, it's like, if this were to happen in real life, it would not be funny. Let me be clear. It would be very
Right.
scary. There'd be cops involved, maybe a restraining order. But the fact that he's so over the top and it's fiction, it's funny. Like, but he's so awful to her. And she's just trying to, like, she's like, trying to do her best. And she's like, I don't know what you want me to do. And it's like, anyway, it's just very funny because she's not, I don't know what her role is or if they even tell us, but she
Right.
works in the office that he works in with other people. But for some reason, he just like singles her out and he's like, You are the one responsible for finding me this agreement for some copyright thing or something that's like a
Yeah,
million years old.
that's old as hell. And I think what makes this movie so good is that not only is Nick Cage's performance so bonkers, every single other performance is just straight. just
It
serious.
is. It's very serious. Even
It's
the
very serious.
vampire parts, like all of that like the things that she says, the kind of ambiance around it, it is all it's like putting a cartoon character in a scary movie.
Yeah,
Very
it's bad.
scary. Yeah. I
I
like
think
did like
also I feel like the best scene by far in the whole movie, just to show how bonkers Nick
mhm.
Cage went, is when he actually eats a cockroach. When it's just, and he did it too. They have confirmed this on the set. He just ate that cockroach.
So I you know more about the behind the scenes stuff on this. So was there no script or was there just like an idea and he was just told to just run with it or
I do not know. I'm sure they gave him
a
plenty of
lot of
free
freedom?
range. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah, the cockroach scene's pretty gross. No wonder it looks so realistic.
that's because it was. He ate a
Ew,
cockroach.
what the hell? The things these people do, I don't know. Like, yeah. I think I'm trying to think if I have a favorite scene. I think my favorite one is that last major blow up where he chases her out of the out of the building and like down into the I don't know what it is, like
Yeah,
the
that little underground thing.
whatever that is and he's like because it's like that's the probably the closest to scary I think it gets because it goes from just like shouting ridiculousness to like physical like it was probably the only moment in the movie where I was like uncomfortable a little bit like I was like
Right,
oh this is going in a but it's just so over the top he's like jumping around screaming his hair flies up and around and he's like you know what he reminds me of it's very funny because obviously he plays um Dracula and Renfield. And so,
right,
but he's sort of almost Renfield in this to me, like, because obviously this was the first watch. So I'd obviously seen Renfield before I saw this. And that's all I kept thinking about was how, like, full circle he ended up going. Because
right.
in this, he's more of the, like, the eating the bugs and just the, like, madness and the manic and just the utter chaos is very, very Renfield.
Renfield-esque.
And so it's very funny that later in his career, he ended up playing Dracula. I think that's very funny.
Right. I mean, oh my goodness. And I think what's also makes this great is again, I'm pretty sure the script started out with some ambiguity in it of like
Yeah,
because his character like gets bit by a vampire, you know, and it's like kind of this line of like, is he actually becoming a vampire type
right.
deal? But like because Nick Cage is doing what he's doing, like
Yeah.
like most of the way through it, you're like, wait a minute, this dude's not a
Yeah, it
vampire.
does take a second, especially because when I tried to do a lot of these the same way as, like, I didn't watch trailers, I didn't watch clips, I didn't read descriptions, I went into most of these just with the name you gave me and the year, and that was all I did. And so when I went into this, I didn't expect something this crazy. And I actually thought it was gonna be a romance because I think that's kinda the energy at the beginning is, right? Because first of all, it's called
Fair.
Vampire's Kiss, that's very romantic sounding. But then there's, like, this, like, attraction thing, and then there's him with the vampire, and I'm kind of like, "Okay, where is this?" But then you're right, it reaches a certain point, and it's not very far in the movie, I'll give you, because all of that stuff
Yeah.
happens very early. And then you get to the part where he just starts going batshit crazy, and you're like, that never happened. There's no you're just but it did but I liked that I went into it blind because it did kinda give me that false and then I got to a point where I was like, "What is going on here with this movie?"
What is happening? It's I swear there's and this like all the memes you've seen of Nick Cage are from this movie. They're from this movie.
Which I had no idea what you did say that when I told you I was watching it. You did say that, and I was like, "Oh my god." Like, there's one in particular what is it? That has there's one in particular of him looking crazy, and it says something about time. No, what is it says? It's like oh, we talked about it when we were messaging about it back and forth.
Yeah, but I know which one you're talking about, like where he's just like looking like this wide-eyed, like
What is the stupid quote? He says
I don't
something like off the wall. I'm about to look it up because that's going to drive me crazy. But
I
yes,
can't
I've seen the memes 100 times, and I had never realized it was one of those things like where it's like, oh yeah, it's all from this movie.
yeah,
Um,
just from this movie.
what is it? What is it? You don't say? That's not what he says though, is it?
No, I don't think so.
What is it he
It
says?
could be. I know he's like
Oh,
ranting at
it's because
Alpha.
I smelt the spelt smelt. I spelt the name wrong. Hold on. I was trying to see.
It's like, I'm pretty sure it's when he goes on that little rant to Alva
Yes.
about how
I'm
he's
I'm
like,
looking I'm looking at the pictures, but it's not showing me, like, the words, and it's driving me crazy. But it's the one where he's like this,
yeah, he's
"What?"
just
And I can't remember what the rant is.
he's like
Vampires
going on about how
rant.
oh, I know what it is. He's like, the contract doesn't matter. Like
Yeah,
that part doesn't matter. He's like, basically, I just want to make you suffer, Alva.
and it's oh my god. It's like but that's the meme, though. That's, like, the meme.
That is the
Where it's like
meme.
that he looks crazy, and you're just like, I've seen that 100 times. Oh, you know what I forgot about that we have to talk about is the teeth.
Oh, the
The
fake
plastic
plastic.
little, like, trick or treat teeth. Bro, when he went and got those, I lost it. I was like, "There's no way. There is no way." That part was so funny to me because I just didn't expect. I mean, it was already really over the top, right? But I don't know. I just didn't think like that was going to be what happened. So when he goes and grabs it, I'm like,
No.
oh my God. Anyway,
It
um,
is this is a film too that I never wanted it to end because I just love seeing Nick Cage be batshit insane.
God, it was fun. Talk about somebody with range, right?
Oh my god, he
'Cause
he can do it all.
I like that he's played so many different things, and I think he's super great in, like, our genre specifically, like, obviously, I'm a massive fan of, like, Mandy,
Right.
Willy's Wonderland, like, he plays these characters, and they're all so different, but he plays them all so well, and then there's, like, Whatever This Is, which is, like,
Whatever's going
next
on here.
level, um crazy performance, and it's young Nick Cage, because what do you say? It was in the late '80s, so it's
Yeah,
young Nick
he's
Cage, and
pretty
it's
young.
just yeah.
It
No,
is
this was super fun.
super fun. I have to ask. I don't know if you'll be able to remember it, but what is your favorite line from Nick Cage in this movie?
My favorite line,
Mhm.
other than the rant from the meme.
That or crazy rant. He has a couple of those though.
What is it he says to her? Remember when she calls out sick, and he, like, shows up at her house
Yeah.
to try to get her to come into work to find this and he's like he's pretending to be nice, and he's what is it he says to her? He's like he tries to convince her to go in. He's trying to convince her that he's really sorry, that he's actually a nice guy. And I can't remember what he says, but that back and forth was some of my favorite, just because, like,
Can't
she
remember.
wants so badly to not have to deal with this shit anymore. She wants
Oh
so
yeah.
badly for him to just magically be a nice person, and her mom's like, "Nobody likes their boss. Nobody likes their job. You gotta go to work. You can't not go to work or whatever." But
Right.
there's, like, that scene when he comes to her house and I think he has flowers or something, but anyway, it's those couple of lines there where he's trying to convince her that he's actually being really nice, and it's okay for her to come to work, that he'll take her. And she is like, "Okay," and she, like, goes and gets dressed and, like, goes with him, and
The moment.
the moment they set foot in the office, he just goes off the rails again. But it's just that switch off, I think, in those lines in that couple those couple of seconds. It's not a super long scene, but it's when he's trying to convince her that she should come back to work. I think that's probably some of my favorite,
That's your
at least
favorite?
exchanges. Yeah, because it was other than the rant, because I think that that's just one of those funny things where it's like, who hasn't been manipulated by somebody they worked for in
Right.
some kind of fashion? So even in that sense, but yeah, I think that's probably one of my favorite exchanges.
That is fair.
It
I
was
uh
just funny.
I mean mine always comes back to it's my favorite part of the movie.
Mhm.
A B C D E F G where he just goes off on the full alphabet rant and he's just
Yes. That's the isn't
screaming.
that that's what I was thinking of, I think. For the rant, like, isn't that or maybe it isn't the same scene. But
No,
yes,
it's like a
that
different
part
one.
is ridiculous. Yes, that's a
Because
good one.
his therapist is like, well, maybe she doesn't know how to file correctly, and then he's like,
That's the one we were
doesn't
talking
know.
about. He, like, jumps up and he's like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." That was
Doesn't know
so
how to
good.
file.
Yeah.
It's just the ABCs. The way he is in his act, whatever accent or voice he's doing.
And the therapist is probably one of the funnier characters too, because she's not all of her segments aren't real. I don't think all of them. I know all of them
Yeah,
aren't, but are there? I don't know if there's some that are, if she's just completely made up. But
no
there's like
idea.
scenes where you like realize or you recognize that like it's not really happening. The exchange
Right,
between them is not real because she's like encourage. What is it? She encourages like the vampire stuff. I can't remember what she says, but there's like one in particular time where he goes and she's like, yeah, like she's like totally on board with the vampire stuff. And you're like, what the hell? And then you start, okay, maybe this isn't really
right. Doesn't
happening. But
exist,
yeah. But the
and it's
payphone on with the fake teeth and the I can't. Like I just it just went in some directions. I was not I really thought it was a romance. And so you can you imagine the thought process of going into this movie thinking it's some kind of weird horror romance and then it being
right.
what it is. You're just like, what?
In the it doesn't help that the cover of it too looks
It's
romantic.
very romance, right? Yeah, it's very like
It's
those books, like the what was his name? Fabio books?
oh yeah, like with the yeah, but it looks very romance
It
based.
does. And I didn't know
Vampires, kids, yeah,
anything about this. You didn't tell me anything about this until I was already watching it. So I was able to go into it relatively blind.
which
And
is the
then
best way to go into this film.
yeah, it's super fun. The bat chase where he's like trying to figure out where the bat is and then it's like and then he sees her again and she shows up at his what is it, his office or whatever, and it's
Yeah,
just so many random things that just make it just a really fun movie. So I would agree with you on this one. I gotta stop hitting my microphone, that can't sound good, sorry. I just talk a lot with my hands and it's right in front of my trajectory.
right your face.
Um so I do have to agree with you that I would say this is an underrated gem. I don't hear people talking about this one and it's super fun and it's Nick
It is
Cage.
fun. Yeah, it is. It is so like no one has ever been disappointed watching this movie. I have never heard
I can't
anyone be
imagine
disappointed.
so, yeah.
No, it's so great, and like it's great because it's so bonkers,
Yeah.
like and just every way, and like none of it matters, like the plot or anything. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
care.
irrelevant. You're just watching it to be it's like a cartoon.
Yeah,
It is
and
like a cartoon.
it is incredible. Like this is the film if you're like having a watch party with like friends and you just want to hang out and they're like, we've had a tough week or something. Throw this
Let's just like, yeah. No, I could totally get behind that for sure. Yeah, it's very easy to watch and enjoy and turn just kind of turn it all off and just be silly for an hour and a half or however long this movie is.
on. Right. I
Yeah.
yeah, definitely like you said, obviously underrated for me. I think it's
Yeah.
fantastic. I think it's the best Nick Cage performance. Maybe
Yeah.
not technically, but for me, it's the best Nick Cage
Yeah, I
performance.
think it's probably up there on my top, maybe my top 2. My first is always gonna be Willie's just because I have such love for that movie, and it's just so many things that the FNAF movie was not that I just loved, and he just was so funny as this not Have you seen Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you know he doesn't say a word the entire
not a
movie.
single word. But he's
But
got
he
those
changes his shirt and he drinks his little energy drinks and he plays it's hilarious. And the day I cannot. Like it's that's my number 1 probably. But this is definitely probably number 2 just because it's so entertaining. It is
it's so
so entertaining, which is the point of movies, right? Is to be entertaining. So I would definitely say that it's one of his most entertaining performances for sure.
hands down. Like,
Hands down.
and it ends abruptly like the movie
Mhm.
does, but again, you don't care. You're not
It matters not.
no.
For sure I agree with that. Yeah, it's there's a couple times you're gonna be like, "What the hell am I watching?" But never like in a disappointed way, just in an intrigued kind of way, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like this one. I agree with you being underrated, Jim. I at the time that I watched this one, it was streaming, I think. So if anybody's watching who hasn't seen it, I definitely recommend this one for sure. It's very fun, especially if you're a fan of Nick Cage and the kind of the horror world.
Yeah.
It was really funny and it's just bananas. It gets
Just like
very bananas.
we can't even like we have described scenes in that movie already in detail right now on this episode. It doesn't hold a candle to seeing it in real life. Not even close.
And we definitely didn't hit enough for there to not be some surprises still.
Oh, heavens no.
It's a very crazy movie. So
It's
find
every
it
scene.
streaming and go watch it if you haven't seen it, because it's very funny. And it's Angel and Radar approved.
There you go.
So, and we don't always like the same thing. So
It's most of the time, no.
you're doing really good on this list. There's only been one I didn't like.
That is true.
So far. Only one. So we got 3 to go. So we'll see where we fall on the other 3. Well, cool. Well, I think that'll wrap up this episode of Underrated Gems. Next week, what are we doing next? I forgot already. Oh, next week we're going to be doing the 1987 family-friendly holiday movie.
It is a
Blood
holiday
Rage.
movie. It is a holiday movie.
It's a holiday movie. That's true. So that is not streaming anywhere. But it is $1.99 on the Google store if you want to rent it. So if you want to watch it before we talk about it next week. But as always, Radar's links where you can find him and his books will be in the description for this episode. If you haven't seen the other episodes, go watch them. There's some really fun conversations, and all of the movies except for one was a first watch for me, which was Theater of Blood. I've seen that one before.
Yes.
Because Vincent Price. Obvi. Maybe that'll be another mini series idea. I'm just going to throw that out there since we both have so much love for him.
I'd be down.
So much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out on this episode of Underrated Gems. We hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your week next week, and we will see you next time.
Watch out for vampires, y'all.